The starship floated silently near the planet Zorth. The ship, sleek and silver, was named Harmony. Inside it, Captain Ethan Cole stood calmly at the wide glass window, looking at the beautiful blue and green planet below. He breathed slowly, trying to stay calm. Ethan knew this mission was important. Peace depended on what happened today. Behind him, the crew moved quietly. Everyone was busy making sure everything was ready. They all knew the Zorthi aliens were powerful and not always friendly. For many years, humans and Zorthi had fought terrible wars. Now both sides were tired and hoped for peace. Ethan turned. As his second-in-command, Lieutenant Mia Collins approached him. Mia was serious but gentle. Her short brown hair framed a thoughtful face. Ethan trusted Mia deeply. She had always given him good advice. "Captain," Mia began softly, "the shuttle is ready. The Zorthi have agreed to meet us in their throne room." Ethan nodded and sighed. "Thank you, Mia. Tell everyone to be calm and respectful. This meeting must succeed." "Yes, sir," Mia said with a nod. She walked away, speaking quietly to other crew members. Ethan turned back to look at the planet again. He hoped peace was truly possible. Minutes later, Ethan and a small group of soldiers and diplomats boarded the shuttle. It was a smaller ship, built to take them down to Zorth. Ethan sat next to Mia, watching as the shuttle flew smoothly through space. The planet below grew larger and clearer. As the shuttle broke through the clouds, Ethan saw huge shining cities. Towers of silver and glass rose high into the sky, catching sunlight in dazzling ways. It was more beautiful than he expected. The city felt alive, full of promise, but Ethan also felt the weight of history. The shuttle landed softly in a wide courtyard. Ethan stepped out first. Fresh air, cool and sweet, filled his lungs. Around him, tall aliens with pale blue skin and bright golden eyes watched silently. They wore fine clothing and moved gracefully. Ethan took a deep breath, remembering to show respect. A Zorthi official stepped forward. "Welcome, humans," she said softly. Her voice was musical and calm. "Queen Alariel awaits you." "Thank you," Ethan replied gently. The official led them toward a massive building. It was made of white stone and covered in delicate carvings. Everything was clean, smooth, and beautiful. They walked through great doors into a long, open hall. Tall windows let in warm, natural light. At the end of the hall stood a throne, simple yet elegant. On it sat Queen Alariel. Ethan felt her power even from afar. She had long, flowing silver hair and eyes that seemed to glow softly. Her gown shimmered gently, making her look like she was made of starlight. As they approached, Ethan's heart beat faster. This was the most important moment of his life. He stopped a respectful distance away and bowed deeply. "Queen Alariel," he said firmly, "I am Captain Ethan Cole. We come in peace and hope to build friendship between our peoples." Each human introduced themselves, speaking clearly and kindly. Queen Alariel nodded slightly, her face calm but unreadable. Ethan watched her carefully, trying to understand her thoughts. When Mia stepped forward, the queen seemed unmoved. Ethan worried briefly, wondering if their efforts were already failing. But he kept his expression steady, waiting. Finally, the official looked to Ethan and announced him again clearly, "Captain Ethan Cole." Suddenly, the queen's calm broke. Her eyes widened and her body froze completely. She looked deeply shaken, unable to speak. Everyone noticed her reaction. The hall became tense and silent. Ethan felt confused and unsure. He wondered what had caused this reaction. Queen Alariel stared at Ethan, her golden eyes wide and filled with emotion. For several long moments, she did not move or speak. Then, with effort, she gathered herself. Slowly, she stood, still watching Ethan carefully. "Captain Ethan Cole," she finally said in a voice that shook slightly, "I must speak with you alone." Everyone glanced around nervously. Ethan took a deep breath and nodded respectfully. "Of course, Your Majesty." he answered calmly. Queen Alarielle turned, walking toward a private chamber. Ethan followed, feeling curious and nervous about what the Queen had to say. As the door closed behind him, Ethan wondered deeply about the Queen's strange reaction. Something important was about to happen, something that could change everything between humans and Zorthi forever. Captain Ethan Cole stood quietly in the small private room. His heart was beating fast, and his mind raced with thoughts. Queen Alarielle had looked deeply shaken when she heard his name. Ethan wondered what had upset her so much. Queen Alarielle turned slowly to face Ethan. Her eyes, which had been calm before, were now filled with deep emotion. She seemed to search Ethan's face, looking for something familiar. Ethan stood still, waiting for her to speak first. He knew patience was important now. Captain Ethan Cole, Alarielle finally said, her voice soft and thoughtful, your name brings back memories from many years ago. Memories I thought were forgotten. Ethan listened carefully, not interrupting. The Queen moved closer to him, studying him carefully. She seemed confused but curious, as if she were trying to solve a puzzle. Tell me, Captain, she asked quietly, is your family from Earth's old colony Orion Prime? Ethan nodded slowly, surprised by her question. Yes, Your Majesty. My grandfather, Samuel Cole, was born there. Alarielle's eyes widened again. Her hand trembled slightly as she reached out, placing it on a small crystal table for support. Ethan could see this was important to her. Samuel Cole, Alarielle whispered, almost to herself. A brave human. A man who saved my life. Ethan felt shocked and curious. His grandfather had rarely spoken about the war he fought in, choosing instead to leave the past behind. Ethan never knew the details, only that Samuel had fought bravely. You knew my grandfather? Ethan asked softly. Queen Alarielle nodded slowly, her eyes distant with memory. Many years ago, Captain, humans and Zorthi fought a terrible battle near Orion Prime. I was young then, not yet queen. My people had orders to destroy the human colony. We fought fiercely, and the battle was brutal. Ethan listened intently, his heart heavy with the sadness in her voice. Alarielle continued, her words slow and clear. During the battle, I was badly injured. Alone and unable to defend myself, I believed my life was at an end, but your grandfather found me. Samuel! Cole could have left me there to die. Instead, he risked his own life and brought me safely away from the fighting. Her eyes glistened with tears, remembering clearly despite the years past. Ethan felt proud yet humble. His grandfather had always taught him kindness and courage. But Ethan had never imagined the true depth of Samuel's bravery. Why did he save you? Ethan asked, quietly curious. Samuel told me that he saw no honor in killing an enemy who could not defend herself. He chose compassion over hate. His actions changed me, Captain Cole. They changed how I saw humans forever. Queen Alarielle took a deep breath, composing herself. After the battle, my people stopped fighting. Your grandfather's kindness showed us that peace was possible, even in war. That day changed our two people's future. But after Samuel returned to Earth, we lost contact. I never had the chance to thank him properly. Ethan felt deeply moved by her words. My grandfather always spoke of peace, he said quietly. He wanted humans and aliens to understand each other better. He would be proud that we meet today to continue what he started. Queen Alarielle smiled gently, her face becoming calm again. Yes, Captain Ethan Cole, Samuel's legacy lives on through you. Your presence here is not just luck. It feels like fate. Ethan smiled softly, grateful to hear her words. He felt deeply connected to the past now, understanding the importance of this meeting. I hope we can honor his memory by achieving true peace between our peoples, he said earnestly. Queen. Alarielle nodded firmly, her expression determined. We will, Captain. It is my promise to you and your grandfather. Our meeting today marks a new beginning. She moved toward the door, pausing to look back at Ethan. We must now show everyone our unity. Together, we will lead our people. toward a brighter future. Ethan followed her out, feeling hopeful and strong. As they returned to the throne room, everyone watched closely. They saw the queen smiling gently, her face calm once again. Ethan felt confident and proud. Queen Alarielle stepped forward, speaking to everyone gathered. Captain Ethan Cole and I have discovered a shared history of courage and compassion. It is time for peace between our peoples. From today forward, humans and Zorthi shall build friendship and understanding. Cheers erupted in the hall, and Ethan felt deep joy. The Queen's words carried powerful hope. Today was more than a mission. It was the start of something wonderful. After Queen Alarielle's announcement, the mood in the grand hall was filled with joy and excitement. Captain Ethan Cole stood proudly beside the Queen, feeling hopeful about the future. His crew members exchanged relieved and happy smiles. Understanding the importance of this moment, later that day, Ethan walked through the peaceful gardens surrounding the palace. The gardens were lush and green, filled with vibrant flowers and gentle flowing streams. It was a place of calm and beauty. Ethan breathed in the fresh, sweet air, enjoying the peace. Lieutenant Mia Collins approached quietly, smiling warmly. "Captain," she began gently, "you did something amazing today." "Your grandfather would have been proud." Ethan smiled softly. "Thank you, Mia. It feels strange, knowing how important he was to this place. It feels like I'm living his story, too." Mia nodded thoughtfully. "You have his courage and kindness, Captain. Everyone can see it." Their conversation was interrupted as a Zorthi official approached respectfully. "Captain Cole, Queen. Alarielle requests your presence. There is something important she wishes to discuss." Ethan and Mia exchanged curious looks before Ethan nodded politely. "Please, lead the way," he said gently. They followed the official through a series of hallways filled with beautiful artworks and carvings depicting the history of Zorth. Ethan observed them closely, noticing images of both peace and war. He wondered how history would record this new era. Queen Alarielle waited in a quiet, elegant room. Soft sunlight streamed through tall windows, illuminating her thoughtful expression. As Ethan entered, she gestured gently for him to sit. "Captain Cole," she began slowly, "our peace faces opposition. Not everyone among my people agrees with my decision to ally with humans." Ethan listened carefully, understanding the seriousness of her words. "Are you in danger, Your Majesty?" he asked quietly. Alarielle sighed softly. "Perhaps, yes. But it is you who must be careful. Some may see harming you as a way to destroy our alliance. I wanted you to know." Ethan felt the weight of her warning, but responded with determination. "Your Majesty, I will not back down. Peace is worth fighting for. My crew and I are prepared." The Queen smiled appreciatively. "Your bravery matches Samuel's. Together we can withstand any threat. But we must remain careful." As Ethan left the Queen's chamber, Mia waited anxiously. "Captain, is everything all right?" she asked. Ethan explained the Queen's concerns quietly, and Mia's expression became serious. "We will stay alert, Captain," she promised firmly. Over the next several days, Ethan and his team continued their work building stronger bonds between humans and Zorthi. They shared meals, discussed cultural differences, and learned from one another. Ethan saw trust growing on both sides, making him proud. However, Ethan stayed vigilant. He noticed some Zorthi watched him suspiciously, whispering quietly among themselves. It was clear Queen Alarielle's warning had merit. One evening, after a long day of talks, Ethan walked alone back to his quarters. The hallways were quiet, lit softly by glowing crystals. Suddenly, Ethan heard footsteps behind him. He turned quickly, alert. Two figures emerged from the shadows, both Zorthi soldiers. Their expressions were stern and unfriendly. "You should leave our planet, human," one of them said coldly. "You are not welcome here." Ethan stood his ground calmly. "I am here at your Queen's request. We seek peace, nothing more." The second soldier stepped forward threateningly. "Peace. With humans? Impossible. Your people bring only trouble and war. Ethan kept his voice steady but firm. Not all humans want war. We want friendship and understanding. Your queen sees this truth. Before they could react further, the sound of footsteps approached quickly. Mia and several human soldiers appeared, along with a group of loyal Zorthi guards. Mia stood firmly beside Ethan, her expression unwavering. Is there a problem here? Mia asked calmly but strongly. The hostile soldiers hesitated, realizing they were outnumbered. With one last angry glance, they stepped back. This is not over, one muttered angrily before they turned and walked away. Ethan sighed deeply. Thank you, Mia, he said gratefully. Your timing was perfect. Mia smiled warmly, though. Her eyes remained serious. We protect our own captain. You are not alone. That night, Ethan reflected deeply. Peace was fragile, threatened by those unwilling to let go of old hatred. He knew the road ahead would not be easy, but he felt stronger with his crew, and Queen Alarielle by his side. Ethan realized that Samuel's bravery wasn't just a story of the past. It was something he carried forward now. He promised himself he would remain strong, honoring his grandfather's legacy and working tirelessly for lasting peace. The next morning, Captain Ethan Cole woke early. Sunlight poured through the large window of his quarters, painting the room in gentle golden colors. Ethan stretched and stood, preparing himself for another important day. Thoughts of the previous night still lingered. The confrontation reminded him how delicate their situation truly was. He dressed quickly and stepped outside into the bright corridor. The palace was already alive with activity. Zorthi officials and human diplomats moved around busily, discussing plans and exchanging ideas. Ethan felt encouraged seeing cooperation in action. As he entered the main hall, Lieutenant Mia Collins met him with a concerned look. Captain, she said gently, Queen Alarielle wants us to attend a council meeting. It seems urgent. Thank you, Mia, Ethan replied. Let's go right away. They moved swiftly through the grand corridors toward a large, open chamber. The room was circular, surrounded by tall windows that offered views of the city. The council sat quietly around a polished crystal table. Ethan and Mia took their seats, waiting attentively. Queen Alarielle stood slowly, her calm eyes scanning everyone gathered. We face resistance from within, she began softly. Last night's incident was troubling. We must act quickly to protect our newfound peace. The council members murmured in agreement. A tall Zorthi general named Varys spoke firmly. My queen, we cannot allow those opposed to peace to threaten our alliance. We must show strength. Ethan listened closely, aware that his next words were important. Queen Alarielle, General Varys, he began clearly, strength must also mean unity. We need to show your people that peace is beneficial. Punishing harshly might only deepen divisions. The queen nodded thoughtfully. Captain Cole is right. We must act with care and understanding. Peace comes from unity, not force. General Varys hesitated, but finally nodded slowly. You speak wisely, Captain. Yet we must remain ready for any threats. The council members continued discussing various solutions, carefully balancing strength and diplomacy. Ethan saw progress, but he knew the challenge was not yet over. After the meeting, Ethan and Mia walked through the peaceful gardens. The fresh air felt calming after the tension of the council. Mia watched Ethan thoughtfully. You handled the council well, Mia said with admiration. Your words carried weight. Thanks, Mia, Ethan replied softly. I believe deeply in what we're doing. We can make this peace real, but we must always stay patient. Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of hurried footsteps. A young Zorthi messenger approached quickly. Captain Cole, Queen Alarielle requests your immediate presence. She has important news. Ethan exchanged a curious glance with Mia and quickly followed the messenger back to the queen's private chambers. Alarielle stood waiting, her expression worried. Captain, I've learned that a small group within my guards plans to harm you. They intend to act tonight, she said urgently. Ethan felt the seriousness of her warning. What should we do? He asked steadily. The queen looked determined. You must stay here tonight, within the palace. I have loyal guards prepared to protect you. Meanwhile, we will quietly confront those plotting harm. Ethan agreed calmly. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll follow your advice. That evening, Ethan waited in a small, secure room. Mia stayed nearby, her presence comforting. Hours passed slowly, the quiet of the night heavy with tension. Suddenly, there was a soft knock on the door. Ethan opened it cautiously. Queen Alarielle stood outside, her expression relieved. The threat has been stopped, she announced quietly. The soldiers plotting against you have been peacefully captured. General Varus ensured their safety as well. Ethan felt immense relief. Thank you, Your Majesty. Your swift action saved lives today. Alarielle smiled gently, her voice warm. Captain Ethan Cole, your safety is vital to our future. We stand together now, united by a common goal. The next day, news of the prevented attack spread quickly. Citizens from both species expressed relief and support. Ethan felt renewed hope seeing the strength of their combined efforts. Mia walked beside Ethan, her face bright with optimism. This event might finally show everyone the true value of unity, Ethan nodded thoughtfully. Peace is never easy, Mia, but we're proving it's possible. Throughout the day, Ethan continued meeting with Zorthy and human leaders, reinforcing their shared goals. Trust grew deeper, friendship stronger. Queen Alarielle remained close, leading gracefully with Ethan's support. That evening, Ethan stood again in the gardens, the setting sun casting soft light across Zorth City. He felt calm and confident. Challenges remained, but each victory made their peace more solid. Looking toward the glowing horizon, Ethan understood clearly now. Peace wasn't just a dream. It was a promise they were keeping, step by determined step. The following days brought even more meetings and careful planning. Captain Ethan Cole felt encouraged as the bonds between humans and Zorthy strengthened steadily. Every morning, Ethan saw the palace filled with busy activity. People from both species spoke and worked together, building trust and understanding. One afternoon, Queen Alarielle invited Ethan and Lieutenant Mia Collins to visit the main city. Ethan felt curious and excited. Until now, most of their work had taken place inside the palace walls. A small group of humans and Zorthy accompanied them. The streets of the city were full of life. Tall, shining buildings stretched toward the sky, bustling with busy people going about their daily lives. Shops sold colorful goods, and families walked peacefully together. As they moved through the city, Ethan saw many Zorthy citizens watching with interest. Some seemed wary, while others appeared hopeful. Ethan knew their presence here meant something important. Queen Alarielle stopped at a central market. She smiled warmly at the gathered citizens. My people, she said calmly, we are entering a new era. Humans and Zorthy now work hand in hand for peace. Captain Ethan Cole represents a friendship built from courage and trust. Ethan stepped forward, speaking clearly and simply. I promise you, my friends, that humans come with peaceful hearts. Together, we can build a brighter future for all. People cheered, their voices full of hope. Ethan felt deeply moved by their response. The joy in their faces gave him strength and determination to continue. As they walked further, a small Zorthy child approached shyly, offering Ethan a delicate flower. Ethan smiled gently and knelt down, accepting the gift gratefully. Thank you, he said warmly. The child smiled brightly before running back to her parents, who waved cheerfully. Queen Alarielle watched happily. Your kindness and humility reach deeply, Captain Cole. They speak clearly to our people. Ethan replied quietly, we all want the same things, Your Majesty, peace, safety, and happiness. After returning to the palace, Ethan reflected on their day in the city. It had given him great hope. He knew challenges remained, but the friendship between their peoples felt real and strong. Late in the evening, General Varus approached Ethan. Respectfully, Captain, your words today reach many hearts. My people now see you as a friend. It makes our alliance stronger. Thank you, General, Ethan replied sincerely. Your support has made all the difference. Varys nodded. Firmly, together we show our people that strength comes from unity. However, peace remained fragile. Early the next morning, a sudden urgent call woke Ethan. Mia's voice sounded tense over the communicator. Captain, come quickly. There's been a serious incident in the city. Ethan hurried to join Mia, Queen Alarielle, and General Varys. They gathered around a large screen, watching scenes from the city. Ethan's heart sank. A small group had attacked several buildings, causing fear and confusion among the citizens. Queen Alarielle spoke gravely. This group wishes to break our alliance. They have spread fear, hoping to destroy what we've built. We must respond quickly, Varys said firmly. We cannot allow them to harm our people or damage trust. Ethan considered carefully. But we must respond with caution. Our actions will speak loudly to everyone watching. They must see unity, not violence. The Queen agreed gently. Captain Cole is right. Our response must be strong but peaceful. Together, they formed a careful plan. They would approach the troubled areas calmly, showing strength through peace and unity. Ethan joined the group heading into the city, aware of the risks. Upon arrival, Ethan saw citizens gathered anxiously. He approached slowly, speaking calmly. And kindly, we are here to help, not punish. Together, we will overcome this. Please trust us. His gentle approach worked. Citizens calmed, seeing Ethan's sincerity. They began helping each other, restoring order and peace. Meanwhile, General Varys led efforts to peacefully capture those responsible. Without violence, the troublemakers were quickly brought under control. By evening, calm returned to the city. Ethan, Mia, and Queen Alarielle spoke again to the citizens, praising their bravery and unity. Citizens responded gratefully, feeling safe again. Back at the palace, Ethan reflected deeply on the day's events. The path to peace was complicated and challenging. Each day brought new tests of patience and understanding. But Ethan knew they had overcome this test. He felt stronger, knowing they had faced danger together without violence. The unity they showed today made their alliance even stronger. That night, Ethan stood quietly in the gardens, looking at the stars. He felt confident and peaceful. Each step forward, no matter how small, brought humans and Zorothy closer together. Peace, Ethan knew clearly, was not built quickly. It required courage, patience, and trust. And today, they had shown that they had all three. Days turned into weeks, and life in the palace and the city slowly returned to normal. Captain Ethan Cole continued his important work alongside Queen Alarielle, ensuring peace and unity grew stronger every day. Each morning brought new hope and challenges, but Ethan felt ready to face them all. One bright afternoon, Ethan and Lieutenant Mia Collins walked through the peaceful palace gardens. Flowers bloomed in every color, filling the air with sweet fragrances. Ethan enjoyed these quiet moments between their busy days. Mia paused near a small fountain, smiling softly. Captain, it's amazing to see how much progress we've made. People genuinely believe in peace now. Ethan nodded, sharing her joy. We've worked hard, Mia, but our effort isn't over yet. We must keep building trust. Their talk was interrupted as a Zorothy messenger hurried toward them. Captain Cole, he called, breathing heavily. Queen Alarielle urgently requests your presence in the council chamber. Ethan exchanged a concerned glance with Mia. Let's go quickly, he said firmly. They arrived to find Queen Alarielle pacing slowly, clearly troubled. General Varys stood near, equally worried. Captain, Alarielle began solemnly, we've received disturbing news. A large rebel group is gathering outside the city. They're demanding we end our alliance with humans. Ethan listened carefully, realizing the seriousness of the situation. Do we know their exact demands or who leads them? He asked, General Varus answered gravely. Their leader is a former commander named Arkin. He believes humans threaten our traditions. He has many followers. We must speak with them, Ethan said calmly but firmly. We need to show them peace benefits everyone. Queen Alarielle agreed. Thoughtfully, yes, Captain. We must try to avoid conflict. However, Arkin is known for his stubbornness. The group carefully prepared their response. Ethan would join Queen Alarielle and General Varus to meet with Arkin peacefully. They hoped calm discussion would prevent violence. The next day, Ethan traveled with Queen Alarielle and General Varus to the outskirts of the city. They arrived at a large field where the rebel group waited. Ethan felt the tension in the air immediately. Arkin stepped forward boldly, eyes fierce. Queen Alarielle, you betray our people by trusting these humans. They bring war and chaos. Queen Alarielle spoke calmly. Arkin, humans have shown us only peace and friendship. Together, we are stronger, Arkin sneered angrily. Lies! Humans cannot be trusted. Captain Ethan Cole might fool you, but I know their true nature. Ethan took a step forward slowly, keeping his voice calm. Commander Arkin, we want peace, not conflict. We've built trust by respecting your people. Peace helps us all. Arkin hesitated briefly, clearly conflicted. Still, anger clouded his face. Words mean nothing. Your actions will prove your intentions. Ethan met Arkin's gaze evenly. Then give us time. Let us prove it. After a tense silence, Arkin finally nodded reluctantly. You have 3 days, Captain. If you fail, our alliance ends. Ethan and the Queen returned to the palace, feeling the heavy responsibility ahead. Time was short, and Ethan knew they needed a meaningful gesture to prove their sincerity. That night, Ethan spoke quietly with Mia, sharing his worries. We must find something significant, something clear, to show we truly value our alliance. Mia thought deeply. Captain, perhaps we could arrange a celebration, something symbolic that shows unity. Ethan nodded, hopeful. Yes, Mia, a festival of friendship could demonstrate our intentions clearly. The next 2 days were filled with preparations. Humans and Zorthi worked side by side, arranging decorations, food, and performances. Word spread quickly about the festival, sparking curiosity and excitement throughout the city. On the day of the festival, the city streets filled with joyful citizens from both species. Ethan watched as humans and Zorthi shared laughter, food, and stories. Music played, and children danced happily. It was a powerful image of unity. Arkin arrived later, watching carefully from a distance. Ethan approached him slowly, speaking gently. See how our people share this day. Peace and friendship are possible, Commander. Arkin remained silent, observing quietly. Slowly, his fierce expression softened. Finally, he sighed deeply. Perhaps I was wrong, Captain. This ... is impressive. Ethan smiled gently, sensing Arkin's genuine change of heart. Together, we can build something even greater. That evening, Arkin publicly announced his acceptance of the alliance, pledging peace alongside Queen Alarielle and Ethan. The citizens cheered joyfully, relieved and hopeful. As Ethan stood under the stars, Mia approached warmly. Captain, today proves peace can overcome fear. Ethan nodded gratefully, feeling deeply proud. We showed today that unity is stronger than division. Now we keep building. He knew challenges would still arise, but each victory strengthened their bond. With trust and friendship guiding them, Ethan felt confident peace would endure. Months passed, and the city of Zorth continued to thrive peacefully. Humans and Zorthi worked together in harmony, building a shared future filled with hope and mutual respect. Captain Ethan Cole felt immense pride every day, witnessing how far they had all come. One quiet evening, Ethan walked slowly through the palace gardens, thinking deeply. The stars shone brightly in the clear sky above, and a gentle breeze moved softly through the trees. It was a beautiful night, calm and peaceful. Lieutenant Mia Collins soon joined him, smiling softly as she approached. Captain, everyone is preparing for tomorrow's celebration. It's hard to believe it's been a full year since we first arrived. Ethan nodded warmly. Yes, Mia. So much has changed. We built something amazing here. Their peaceful moment was soon joined by Queen Alarielle and General Varys. Both looked proud and content. Captain Ethan, Queen Alarielle spoke softly, her voice gentle and kind. Tomorrow marks a new beginning. Our alliance is strong because of your courage and wisdom. We have all done this together, Your Majesty, Ethan replied humbly. The future looks brighter because of our shared efforts. General Varys nodded seriously. Captain Cole, your leadership brought peace. We all owe you our gratitude. Ethan smiled gently, grateful for their kind words. We found peace because we believed it was possible. Each one of us played a part. The next day, celebrations filled the city streets. People laughed, sang, and danced, celebrating their unity and shared history. Colorful decorations adorned buildings, and joyous music echoed everywhere. Queen Alarielle stood in the central plaza, surrounded by joyful citizens. Beside her stood Ethan and Mia, proud and happy. The queen raised her hand gently, and the crowd quieted, waiting respectfully. Today, we celebrate the strength of unity, Alarielle announced clearly. Humans and Zorthi once feared each other. Today, we stand together as friends, bound by courage, kindness, and understanding. The crowd cheered warmly, their voices filled with genuine happiness. Ethan felt deeply moved, understanding the significance of this moment. Queen Alarielle continued. Softly, our peace began years ago with one human named Samuel Cole. He saved my life and showed me true compassion. His bravery set us on this path. Ethan felt proud hearing his grandfather's name spoken with such respect. Alarielle turned to him gently, smiling softly. Captain Ethan Cole continued that legacy, reminding us that peace is possible when we choose to trust and support each other. Ethan stepped forward, addressing the crowd simply but powerfully. Today is a celebration of hope and friendship. Each day, we choose to support one another. Let us continue building our shared future. Applause filled the air again. Ethan felt deeply grateful and hopeful. After his speech, people approached him, offering warm smiles and heartfelt thanks. Children handed him small gifts, their faces bright with excitement. Later that evening, a quiet gathering took place in the palace. Gardens. Ethan, Mia, Queen Alarielle, and General Varys sat together beneath the stars, sharing stories and laughter. Captain, Alarielle began warmly, your grandfather will be very proud of you. You've honored his legacy beautifully. Ethan felt touched by her words. Thank you, Your Majesty. It means a lot to hear you say that. General Varys raised his glass thoughtfully to peace, unity, and friendship. May these remain strong forever. To peace, they all echoed gently, smiling warmly. The night continued peacefully, filled with quiet conversations and gentle reflections. Ethan looked around the group, appreciating the bonds they'd formed over the past year. They were no longer merely allies. They were true friends. As the evening drew to a close, Ethan walked slowly back to his quarters, feeling content and hopeful. The journey had not been easy, but their achievements made every challenge worthwhile. The following morning, Ethan stood once more by the large window in his quarters, looking out across the beautiful city below. The streets were calm, bathed in gentle morning sunlight. Ethan smiled softly, feeling deeply proud. Lieutenant Mia Collins joined him quietly. Captain, what happens next? She asked thoughtfully. Ethan smiled warmly, considering her question. We continue to grow, Mia. Peace requires effort and care every day. But now we know it's possible. Mia nodded thoughtfully, her expression calm and confident. Yes, Captain. Together, we can face anything. Ethan looked out again over the city, feeling true peace within himself. The future was bright, filled with possibilities and hope. His grandfather had dreamed of a world like this, and now it was real. Ethan took a deep, calming breath, ready for whatever lay ahead. They had built a strong foundation. Now, they will continue forward, step by determined step, toward an ever brighter and more peaceful future.